Hey, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to do a short video about spincast reels, um, mainly vintage spincast reels, what to buy, what to look for, and what not to buy. So yeah, I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 reels here. They're all from different time periods. So these are just six of my current collection. So I'm just going to show you which ones I think are best and I think which ones to avoid. And there's definitely one there that probably stands out right away, which is something to definitely avoid. And there's one there that I think is one of the best ones, probably the best one ever made. So anyway, let's start this review. So I want to start off by saying that these reels work for me. These reels work best on this type of. This is just a handle. I don't have the whole rod here, but this type of rod. This is an old school pistol grip rod, I guess you'd call them, for casting. And I think they suit these. This type of rod suits these reels the best, especially for smaller fish like panfish. Now I usually just fish for trout, brook trout, and pond trout. So this is what I prefer. So let's start off with probably the cheapest, most expensive reel, or cheapest reel. This is a South Bend Pisces. Yeah, Pisces. This reel is not that old, but this is just a representation of what most people start off with. This is definitely what I started with, something like this. So I'd put this on its par with like a current cheap reel like Shakespeare, anything Shakespeare, Durango, that kind of thing. Things you'll see at a big box store for like $5 and $10. This reel, it's plastic, cheap, feels cheap, looks cheap. Nothing stainless like this. This will rust if it gets wet. Very soft metal. Line digs in right here after a short time. Comes apart like this. Like cheap construction. Sounds like makes a lot of noise. Does work. It will catch fish. If this is all you have, like this is what I grew up on. This is what my parents could afford back then, or what I could afford. So there's no shame in using this, but if it's all you got, it's fine. But if you can do a little bit better, you'll be much better off. Like I said, this will catch fish, but will you enjoy using it? Probably not. Probably if you're a kid, you are, but eventually you want to move up to something better. So I'd put like, I'm not a fan of Zebcos at all, but I've had a couple. I've had a 202. I put a 202 above this, not a whole lot, but slightly above this. And I think I had a 33. I bought a couple old ones one time, a 33 and I think it was a Pro Staff. But like trouble I had with them is they were pretty good reels, but like they had this kind of material here for your line stopper, and it was crumbling on each one, so it kind of turned me off from Zebco there. And I did buy an Omega Pro last year, but I don't know, it just felt cheap to me. It didn't feel very good, so I took it back. So let's look at a couple of the older spincast reels. These are more serious if you're into spin casting. So in the back here, I have a Century and a Citation by Johnson, model 100B. I think these are from the late 60s or 70s. So you have 2 Centuries. So these are just amazing reels. These are iconic. The green color, the clicker. These are super simple. Really a breeze to take apart and service. Very few parts. Probably one of the simplest reels. These have a lot of fans. A lot of people collect these. A lot of people still use them. And they really are hard to beat. So these are probably two of the best. These are not fancy or anything, but they'll just fish all day long, trouble free. And the Century is considerably smaller than the Citation. Here's a Citation, just a bigger, beefier version. Holds a lot of line. Probably good for like slightly larger fish. So put that one aside. And we'll move on to my three current favorites that I have. This is an Abumatic 574. See how it's got a completely different design than most reels? Look at a huge opening. Called an Ultra Cast design. Has a really nice rubber line stop. One pickup pin. Nice hard, nice chrome rotor. No cuts. Very smooth. Pretty simple to work on. It's a bit more complicated. It's not too bad. It's just the way that this on right here. It's the way this handle fits in there. It's a bit tricky to get in and out sometimes, but the way this reel is made, when it sits on here, has this place over on the left for your thumb, and it just ergonomically, I think this is probably my favorite spin cast reel. And this one's made in Korea. There's an 89 there. I don't know if that's the year it was made. It could be. Sounds like the right time frame. But I always enjoy using this reel. And yeah, I think it's one of my favorites for sure. It's graphite body. It's not plastic. It's graphite, which is much stronger. Very strong, durable reel. Great for panfish. And we'll move on to the Shimano CB100. And this one is made in Japan. I think this is from somewhere between 1980 and 1983. This is a very different looking reel. It's very smooth, very quiet. It's really nice. This one has a hard plastic line stopper. There's your pickup pin. Again, nowhere right here. Super smooth. Super reliable. Foot is metal. This is plastic or graphite or whatever. Metal here. Metal spool. Very nice reel. Nice design too. It's really a bit strange looking, but not strange looking, but different than anything else. This one's in pretty good condition. I enjoy using this one a lot too. So, then we go to my favorite. This is Daiwa Goldcast 2 508 RL. This one has, this was a one ball bearing reel, one ball bearing on the pinion gear. I added another ball bearing on this side right here. I'm going to try to add another one to make it 3, but I just got to find the appropriate size. And I'm going to wind this line back here. Again, nice hard plastic line stop here. Pickup pin even has a roller on it. Again, no wear at all. And this one has a spool that oscillates. So what that does is it lays your line on your spool really smooth, and it prevents line from getting trapped in there. Usually when you catch a fish, you have some strain on it. Next time you cast, you'll cast probably so many feet and it'll bind up, and you have to reel back in and let it out and try to get the knot out of it, because the line digs into itself, and this prevents that totally. And this reel is all metal, all aluminum. 4:1 gear ratio. An oscillating spool. If you're anti-reverse. Nice handle. These reels, they've made these forever. They eventually went from metal to graphite in the 80s or 90s, and they still make them today. They make 3 different sizes. Back with these, there's a 508 and 510 and 512, which is the line like recommended for 508 would be 8-pound line, 10 would be 10, 12 would be 12-pound line. And the graphite ones are great too. They're pretty much identical, and they just have a new model out. I think they brought it out last year that I'm looking forward to getting. But this is my favorite. Probably always will be my favorite. I've never ever had a problem with this reel. This one works perfect, and you compare this reel to that, it's like night and day. This is frustrating. Probably nothing but frustration using this, and this is so much better, way better. And this is still my favorite, and until I find something else that I like better, which I probably will never, because of all the reels I've had, this is my favorite. It casts the furthest, smoothest, trouble-free. And again, like I said, these Centuries are friggin' fantastic too. Look at a tiny line opening, but this reel will probably outcast any reel here. You put 6-pound line on this, or maybe even 8. I love using this reel. So these two are probably my favorites. So I put this one number 3 and this one number 4. And like I said, these are a Citation. There's another Century, same thing as this one. And just avoid something like this. And if you buy like a good quality reel and take care of it, you'll really enjoy fishing with it. Anyway, thanks for the video. Comment if you have any questions or anything like that, and see you in the next video.